football brain. So you can really see why lots of top teams want him. And clearly, I would imagine he'll go in January. Sad to
Mm.
say, from the club's, the fans' point of view, because you can't easily replace these people. You can't.
No,
We've got some
no,
good defenders, to be fair, but Marc is, and he's a great captain as well. He's a great,
yeah,
inspiring captain, and he scores goals. He
yeah.
scored a couple. He scored for England last week, didn't he? So he does score goals. So yeah, but there was no truth in the threat supposedly from Oliver Glasner to leave. No,
Mm. Yeah. Do you know who he reminds me of? Um, Steven Gerrard at Liverpool. In his heydays anyway. And the comparison that I'm trying to make is he's level-headed. He
mm,
doesn't
yeah,
get involved in controversies or anything like that.
no,
He's just focused on the game. You won't see him messing about or saying
mm.
things out of place. He certainly doesn't even get involved in politics, does it?
No, he
He's just
doesn't. No.
he does his thing. So yeah, I'm quite happy about that. So the next one I
I
was
mean,
gonna go to, yeah,
sorry,
go on.
just to finish that by way of brief background context. His father is a minister, I think, in the Methodist Church. He was definitely a church minister, and I think he was asked. Marc was asked, I think, a few months ago, before the FA Cup final, or perhaps it was the Community Shield, which was on a Sunday. He was asked, "Will your dad come to the Wembley final? And it's on a Sunday." And he said, "Well, I don't know." He said, "He does always put God first on a Sunday." He said,
Yes.
"But I'm not going to rule out the possibility that he will come to the match." I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe his dad did go to the match.
Oh
But yeah,
wow.
so he's obviously had a good upbringing, if we can put it like that, with
Yeah.
a good role model himself, and
Yeah.
he is a super role model for kids, for other footballers,
Yeah.
how to conduct himself. He just is the perfect footballer. You got to say. In fact, in one way, he reminds me of what Bobby Moore used to be like at West Ham. I mean, he died of cancer, didn't he, some years ago? But you watch some of the old matches when he was playing for England in the World Cup. You can still see those, and he was a majestic footballer. He very rarely put a foot wrong. So yeah, Marc Guehi, I think, is in that kind of ilk. He's just superb, and it'll be a real sadness to lose him. It really will, because you can't easily, as I said, you can't easily replace players of that caliber.
No, no, I just love the fact that it keeps away from anything outside football on his
Yeah,
platform. So that's good. Yeah. I mean, there was something that happened. I think it was about the LGBT, and it was asked to wear this handband, and he refused to wear it, didn't
mm,
he? But you
yeah.
know, he does have a right to, as they have a right to do whatever. He has his own rights as well, don't he? And he didn't
And I
make
guess
much
he didn't
fuss
want
about.
to.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
he didn't want to probably bring politics into things. I think, as
Absolutely.
it is, I think football does sometimes stick its nose into politics in a way that I don't think is wise, because
Yeah.
they'll always end up upsetting some people and not others, sort of thing. So I think sport is politics is best left outside of sport, and anyone who sort of goes along with that, like Gay appears to, then in my view, they get my votes.
Yeah, absolutely. Get my vote as well. So the next one, just on the line of politics as well, with the game of football, is Gary Lineker with the game of football. Is Gary Lineker. So he got this award, didn't it? I can't remember where it was now. I think it was it's not the BAFTAs, is it? Or anything. Something about TV awards. And I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
in his speech, he did say the award proves that, it's good to use your platform to talk about, certain things. And I thought, does it really? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the award was for his, if you like, leading match of the day, the way he compared match of the day,
Yeah,
if that's what it was. Um, because I think we probably said before, as a the main man on match of the day, he really had no equal. I think he has that ability. He's always had quite a good wit. He'll always pick out a funny line from something, either someone who scored a goal or whatever's going on at that particular time, and he'll make a witticism often at the end of match of the day. He'll say something, and you think, yeah, that's good. So, but he had that laid back approach, and I think he had respect as a footballer because he was a very good footballer. He played up front for England, number 9,
yeah.
scored lots of goals, and so on. So I think he had a lot of admirers in the game. I think for me, probably he stepped a bit outside of that, as we've just said about Mark not wanting to do politics, Marc Guehi. And maybe the two things shouldn't mix. Now, having said that, I can see why people who've got a platform in whatever sphere, whether they're a television commentator, an actor, or a musician, I can see why some can't resist letting their political feelings spill onto their platform. I mean, there's probably things all of us would say if we had a significant platform or not. Sometimes I think a lot of wise people in the public eye say, no, I'm not going to get involved because it's not what I'm here for. I hope to give people pleasure in what I do, acting, music, or whatever. But I can also understand why, when times are difficult in various ways in societies around the world, why people with a platform who do have a voice publicly actually give voice to that. The only thing you would say is, more often than not, it can land them in hot water because they will have people who agree with them, and they'll have a heck of a lot of people who don't agree with them, and so that kind of would impact perhaps on what they do for their living. So yeah, I'm not sure why Lineker would have said, "Oh, it proves I was right to talk about politics." Maybe there was something more.